is James Aiken. I'm the chair of the management committee here at Gorgie Mem, and it's my day, my job to say thank you to all of you for coming along today. It's great to see so many people here. Today is all about us celebrating that we're still here. Back in February, we were slated for closure, but by June we had managed to save the hall, and we're still here. We're absolutely delighted about that because it's such a terrific community resource. But it's also about, today is also about saying thank you to you, the people of the local community. 3,000 people from around the hall signed the petition to help keep us open. So it's just great to see all of you here. We're here saying thank you to you for helping us save the hall. But you've not come here to hear me speak. There's loads of things going to be happening throughout the afternoon, so I hope you celebrate and I hope you have a good time. But first of all, I'm just delighted that Grant Stott has come along to open today's event, and I'm going to hand over to him now and he's going to say a few words. Grant, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Watch my feedback here. A day of celebration as a Hibs fan is something I've not had too many of down in Gorgie over the years, but I would just like to say thank you very much for inviting me along to come here today. I've actually got a lot of family connections in this part of Edinburgh. I'm Edinburgh born and bred. I was born in Ardnellan Terrace. That was our first family home. My dad and my grandparents lived in Downfield Place, and my auntie Bunty lived just round the corner. So I may not be shall we say, an ardent supporter of your football team, but certainly I've got a lot of family ties in this part of the world. And when I heard the story about the Gorgie Mem and that it had been saved, it was magnificent to hear, because there's so much that you hear and you read about society in this day and age, and how the sort of community spirit that was once there isn't there, and this is a magnificent example that it is very much alive, and the fact that you managed to save this magnificent building is testament to that. So congratulations to everyone, and long may the Gorgie Ward Mem serve the community so well. It's great to be here, and I would just like to take the chance to say I hope that the afternoon goes swimmingly. Well, where do you get your face painted like that? I want a shot. I hope the afternoon goes really well, and I was just basically, as I say, just a couple of things, but try and get a few words in without actually mentioning Jack and the Beanstalk at the King's Theatre this Christmas, because it's only August, and it's not the time to be plugging pantomimes, because tickets, although they are on sale, and there's some good seats still available for all performances from the 4th of December right through until the 22nd of January. It's not the time or the place, because it's August. We're celebrating the Gorgie Mem today, not Jack and the Beanstalk with Alan Stewart, Andy Gray, and the big skinny guy off the radio. No. Don't you go rushing home, you lot over there, and going on to the internet and booking your tickets at www.eft.co.uk. Don't be doing that, because that's just an outrage. Anyway, I'm not here to plug the panto anymore, but I'll see you at Christmas, just along the road to Kings. Anyway, have a fantastic afternoon here. Lots to celebrate. We've got some live music coming on later on. I believe we've got a DJ's going to play some tunes for us. I can see the tombola and the raffle over here is proving very popular as well. And he's too young to get the wine in the Lambrini, by the way, I've noticed that. So a couple more speeches to go, and it's my pleasure to introduce Donald Wilson, who you no doubt know as your local councillor. Donald.
I'll try my best. I think this might turn into a long succession of congratulations, but I'm going to add my congratulations to everybody that was involved in the campaign. On the way in here, I was handed a t-shirt which I apparently put on, and I had actually brought my previous t-shirt from the campaign, which I was wearing at various strategic points throughout the campaign. But the one that I had before is different in one small but not minor detail from the one that I've just put on. It's got this word stamped in the corner, saved, and I think that's what we're here today to celebrate. We're here to celebrate something very important and significant, I think, because it's not that campaigns don't always succeed. It's that this one was a particularly, I think, brilliantly fought campaign, and that people should be very proud, the whole community should be very proud of their involvement in it. Everybody that helped, and the MSP Sarah Boyack and myself, local councillors, were happy to sort of join in with that campaign, but we didn't initiate the campaign. The campaign was done by users and the management committee of this centre, and they should be very proud, and I would certainly congratulate them. It's a huge success. I can tell you from the council's point of view that when the proposals were first brought forward to close this hall, it wasn't one of a few options. It was portrayed as an option, but there were no other options, and I think people will agree that everybody's attitude was very closed at that time. It seemed fairly obvious people weren't listening, that they were determined that they were going to shut the centre. So that's where the campaign started from. It was billed as a proposal, but the consultations and everything was such that they were absolutely determined that it was going to shut. So to go from there, not listening, not accepting any alternatives, to a position where they were forced to listen and forced to accept alternatives was really a huge success for the campaign. And it was because the truth was told. The truth about this hall. The truth that it is a war memorial. A war memorial that's already in the best place in Gorgie that couldn't and shouldn't legitimately be moved anywhere else. The fact that it's a vital local community centre that people don't want to lose. The fact that it couldn't be moved into the new Tynecastle School because the space wasn't there. The fact that it shouldn't be moved to Sight Hill and amalgamated with their community centre because people don't want to go to Sight Hill for a Gorgie Dalry community centre. All of these things seem to have been forgotten, but they were forced to look at the facts, and in the end, reason prevailed and the centre was saved. But it was a huge thing to do, and really I think that people should be very proud. And every time anybody that had anything to do with this campaign passes this hall and sees it still here, they should remember, you did that, this community did that, and it just shows what can happen if people work together. So well done, everybody. On that happy note, I think possibly for more congratulations, I'm going to hand over to our MSP, Sarah Boyack.
Well, I want to add my thanks to everybody who worked really hard in the campaign. Those of you who are on Facebook know that there's a Gorgie War Memorial Facebook site, and that really told the story that we're in the 21st century. But this war memorial came from the last century, and it's really, really important that we don't forget the people who gave their lives to fight for this country. And I know for some people in the hall, they actually remember their relatives who died in that conflict. So for some people, this is a very, very old piece of history, but I think it's a very important piece of history in Gorgie. We know there's a war memorial in the new school, which is great, but this is a special war memorial, because this is a war memorial for the whole of the community. And it's something that people can see every day when they come into the War Memorial. And one of the things about having saved this hall has meant that we've had to contact the ex-servicemen's organisations in touch with the Royal British Legion, and they were delighted to hear that there was such a strong campaign to save this War Memorial. And they are keen to work with us in the future to make sure we protect the War Memorial, to keep it up to date, and when we have the next remembrance ceremonies in November, I'm very hopeful that we'll have a proper celebration in Gorgie as well. We couldn't have done that if we hadn't saved the hall. We've got a fantastic facility here, and the fact that you're all here, ready to enjoy yourself, is testament to that. I didn't know that there were African drummers that played here. I knew about the kids, I knew about the carpet bowlers. There's all sorts of things happen in this hall, and if it wasn't here, there wouldn't be anywhere for you to go. And when Donald and I did the detailed campaign and we said, so exactly where in the new Tynecastle is everybody going to go from the hall, nobody thought about it. So we had to fight for this hall. It's important because of the history of Gorgie, it's important for the people of Gorgie, it's also important for our future in this area. I'm delighted Grant's been here. We had a wee campaign earlier last year to save the King's Theatre, and it got some of the money it needed. So if anyone wants to see just the fact that we need a wee bit more money in the Kings, I would agree with Grant. You should go along in December and go and have a look at the panto. If anyone else has got a campaign going in this part of the city for the next few months, I suspect you can be guaranteed that Grant will come along. And he won't give a plug for the panto, but he will mention it in passing. Because that's another part of Edinburgh's tradition, is the panto in the King's Theatre. So it's a good time to get your tickets organised, because I know there's a bit of competition with Glasgow on that front. They have one or two other famous people, but we've got our own Edinburgh panto, and it's the best. So it's good to celebrate our local communities. It's good to celebrate the work that people do in our communities. For all ages, this is a hall that's a home for people. And I think it's brilliant we're all here together. Now, there's one challenge that is still left to us. We've kept the hall open, but the challenge we've got is that in a year and a half, 2 years' time, we've got to make sure that we can run this hall ourselves. The other person I'd like to thank who's not here is Aidan. Now, those of you in the early days of the campaign will remember the fantastic energy that Aidan brought to the campaign. Tragically, having persuaded the council to keep it open, he's away off to Down Under. But we know that he's still interested because he's on the internet, so he'll know that the Facebook campaign's still there. But the one serious thing I do want to say, it's been a brilliant campaign. And when people say, does it matter? Does the local community matter? Does it matter if you say that you're not happy about something? This is the kind of campaign that shows it really does matter. If you've got a strong voice and you've got a good argument and you've got a well-organised campaign, it does matter. So that's a really important thing to remember. It's 3,000 people signed the petition. We had help from the local community organisations like the community councils, the Hutchison Community Council, the Gorgie Community Council. We need to keep those organisations going just on the day-to-day level as well. So if any of you have got a little bit of spare time, anyone who's taken early retirement, or anyone who's been retired for a while and is still kicking their heels, get involved in your local community councils, get involved in the management of the hall. If anyone knows anyone who's a good ex-banker, or who's somebody who knows about how money works, get them to get in touch with us, because we need people who know about money to help us organise for the future. Because in a year and a half's time, James is going to have to organise us to make sure that the books balance at the end of the year, and that will be an exciting part of the campaign to keep this place open, but it will be challenging because money will be tight. So I'm going to stop now because you've had several speakers, and I want to make sure that everyone can get on with the fun today, because we've got a raffle, there's face painting, we've got somebody from Idlewild coming to play later, which I think is a massive coup. And thanks to everyone for coming along yourselves, because it's only the work that you did that kept it open, and the work we did with the evening news to get the coverage. And thanks very much to Grant for coming along. I know you are busy. I know you're not just here to plug the panto, but that's important as well. So thanks to everybody for coming along. It's been a fantastic campaign. There's lots more to do, and the success of this campaign is keeping the Gorgie Mem open and busy every day of the week, and for you to be able to come along and enjoy it. So thanks all for coming, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sarah, once again. My name's Graham Valance. I'm going to be making sure everything runs smoothly this afternoon. Thanks, Sarah Boyer, Billy Wilson, Gordon McLean at the back there, the Reverend James Aitken, looking after us very well, and Mr. Pants here, the bus on the bus. Thanks very much, mate. Very, very soon we're going to get some music, get the kids out, a few party games with DJ Maverick, hundreds of raffle tickets still to be sold. We have got a cacophony of prizes this afternoon. That's it. Plenty bevy, and a few tickets for paintballing. Going to see the Hearts. I've got you a few tickets, Graham, as well. That's it. Hopefully you'll get a few tickets for the centre stand there, maybe for a derby game or something. That's it. So I'm going to hand you over to DJ Paul. He'll look after you this afternoon for the next hour or so. And enjoy yourselves.